For some days now, YNW Melly and his lawyers have been going back and forth in court rounds, trying to figure out a way to get him out of the death penalty or, if possible, out of jail. The prosecution is giving all they have to make sure that the death penalty sticks. And believe me when I tell you, it's one hell of a battle between both sides. YNW Melly's defense lawyer isn't helping his situation after she was seen holding a book that says evil plans and stuff. I mean, what type of lawyer does that? Is she trying to get Melly's killed? Guess we'd have to find out. Keep watching till the end of this video to see YNW Melly's defense lawyer caught with the demonic notebook. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. YNW Melly to face death sentence. It's been 4 long years since YNW Melly has been locked up behind bars, and there's no doubt that being away from his family, friends, and fans has been really tough on the rapper. Not only does he have to deal with the jail officials threatening his life, but he also has to worry about the prosecutors who want to end his life. Melly was arrested and charged with the murder of 2 men, Anthony Williams, aka YNW Juvie, and Christopher Thomas Jr., aka YNW Sack Chaser, had the death penalty taken off his trial in early 2022 when a judge revealed that the prosecutors couldn't apply the penalty since they didn't correctly notify Melly and his legal team. The prosecution took the lesson, rested, and bounced back at Melly and his team with full force. They spent the last few months going through the right process to make sure that the death penalty would be the enforceable punishment for Melly if he was found guilty. The prosecutors are hell-bent on putting him on the chair because they believe that his intentions and actions in the killings were done in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner. Their request has, however, been approved, as the judge who ruled in favor of the prosecution wrote, "The state complied with its statutory obligations when it filed its notice of intent to seek the death penalty within 45 days of arraignment. In the present case, the defendant, YNW Melly, was clearly noticed and apprised of the state seeking the death penalty in 2019. The defendant has had nearly 3 years to start the preparation of his defense to the state seeking the death penalty between the filing of the original notice and the superseding indictment." The judge concluded by suggesting that the Florida Supreme Court should rule on Melly's case and the applicability of the death penalty. YNW Melly's lawyers would definitely have sleepless nights trying to get the death penalty in Melly's case. YNW Melly's lawyers try to remove the death penalty from his case. YNW Melly may face the death penalty for a murder case he was arrested and charged with back in 2019. The state of Florida is seeking the death penalty for the rapper in regard to 2 counts of first-degree murder he's facing. The charges stem from the prosecutor's claims that Melly and his co-defendant, YNW Bortland, killed 2 members of their own YNW crew in South Florida in October and staged their deaths to look like a drive-by shooting. The state says it believes it can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Melly killed his friends for financial gain, that the murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, and that he committed homicide in a cold, calculated, and deliberate manner. The state also believes Melly is a criminal gang member. I don't think anyone or a rapper would ever want to wear the shoes of YNW Melly because it's almost like he's in an unending nightmare, and he's not waking up anytime soon. The state prosecutors filed a motion to follow a new statute that allows jurors to recommend a death sentence with an 8-4 vote. The judge overseeing the case, Broward Circuit Judge John Murphy, sided with the prosecutors, which meant that the 12-person jury involved in Melly's case no longer needed to unanimously agree to give him the death penalty. Melly will be one of the first people tried under this new rule. The law was signed into effect by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in April as a response to a verdict that spared the life of the Parkland shooter. The chances of YNW Melly getting out of prison kept getting shorter by the day. Before Melly surrendered himself to the police, he wrote on his Instagram, "I am turning myself in today. I want you guys to know I love you and appreciate every single one of y'all. A couple of months ago, I lost my 2 brothers to violence, and now the system wants to find justice. Unfortunately, a lot of rumors and lies are being said, but "No worries, God is with me, and my brother at YNW Portland." YNW Melly's lawyers launched an appeal to the Florida Supreme Court, asking and pleading with the court to overturn the ruling, which stated that the rapper could face the death penalty if he was found guilty or convicted in his upcoming murder trial. Melly's lawyers urged Florida's top court to tackle the case and rule that prosecutors had forfeited the right to seek the death penalty. They say the government failed to give Melly and his attorneys proper notice that they planned to do so, violating strict procedural rules. In taking the case to the Florida Supreme Court last month, Melly's lawyers argued the state rules plainly require a new notice be filed when a new indictment is handed down. The petitioner was arraigned on a new indictment, and the state did not file the requisite notice within 45 days of that arraignment or ever, the rapper's lawyers wrote. The state relies on a notice that was filed as to an original indictment, that is, and has been since the filing of the new indictment a legal nullity. YNW Melly's defense lawyer caught with evil plans and stuff notebook. YNW Melly's double murder trial has been going off without nearly as many hitches as we've seen from the YSL RICO indictment. Of course, there has still been noteworthy reports coming from the courtroom, such as the accused killers apparently praying before the jurors entered the courtroom on day 2. And let's not forget how everyone praised his lawyer online for twisting the story and painting YNW Portland as the killer, since Melly was never seen at the hospital. The trial has no doubt been going pretty well on Melly's end, but would it last that long? According to reports that came in after the court session, another moment made rounds online from one of this week's live streams showing YNW Melly and his attorney talking, using a notebook to hide their mouths. This is obviously common practice in the courtroom, but lawyers don't always have evil plans and stuff written across the front of their notebooks. I mean, it's crazy enough that YNW Melly could get the death penalty, but is lawyer bringing a book like that to the courtroom? That just raises a lot of questions. Considering the crimes the 23-year-old has been accused of committing, and the fact that he's facing the death penalty, some of YNW Melly's fans feel it was, in a way, very unprofessional to bring such a book to the courtroom. No one knows if it's some kind of plan or strategy that YNW Melly's defense lawyer is trying to use in his ongoing case, or if she was just very unprofessional about the whole thing. Do you think YNW Melly is innocent of the crimes he's being accused of? Do you think his defense lawyer's actions could have any implications for his ongoing trial? Join the conversation and let us know in the comment section below. That's the end of today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content. Thanks.